Hello friends, and welcome to Rift Weekly Review for August 11th. This is Dark Hoses, and as you can see, you can now ride inside places now. Yep, you can ride inside Sanctum, you can ride inside Meridian, and I guess pretty much everywhere else except instances. You know, they don't want to let you ride in an instance and exploit something, of course. Personally, I love it. It makes getting around so much easier, and the walking is so slow. You know, even with the racials and all that. The only ones that have the good racials are like the Et anyway and stuff. Well, I guess that jumping one's pretty cool too, but yeah. So you can now ride inside, and people are already bitching. So I hope that they don't listen to the bitching so much, and they continue to let us ride inside. You know, WoW's did it for years. And Rift is, you know, slowly becoming more and more like WoW. I mean, if it wasn't like WoW enough already, it is constantly and continually evolving into more and more like WoW, adopting more and more of their, you know, beliefs, I guess you would say, such as riding inside. You know, that wasn't allowed forever in WoW, and they allowed it only, you know, not too long ago, and now Rift has done it. So yeah. They've also made the Dragon Moat quest a weekly quest instead of a daily quest, because it was just pretty damn hard to get a hold of one of those Dragon Moats, you know, honestly. By the time you get to a Dragon Moat, somebody had already, you know, pretty much killed it. Usually. That's usually the case. Just like a lot of rifting, you know. But anyway, they've made it just once a week now, and you get all 8 of those Dragon Quintances, or whatever they're called. You get 8 of, you know, a week's worth just from doing it once. So you don't lose anything, honestly, and it makes things a lot easier, but it's just, you know, it's one less thing to log in for each day for people like me who don't raid and grind out the dungeons and things like that. I just can't bring myself to grind a dungeon 100 times. But since they've put in that really nice crafting gear, there really isn't much incentive to really do the dungeon runs over and over like that. Well, for specific pieces, at least. But the new crafting gear is well over 300 platinum per piece. So, for people like me who don't mind grinding out cash and things like that, you know, it's a great alternative to keep me subscribed. And you see, I'm out in the Droughtlands. Why am I out here, you know? Who wants to be out in the Droughtlands? I always seem to be hanging out here for some reason, because it is a great place to farm artifacts, and it is a really great place to farm those new dragon moats, believe it or not, even up to level 50. But you have to get the level 43 ones. 42 and below, you're not going to get anything out of them. But they're always around in the Droughtlands for some reason. I don't know if it's a little bit of a bug or something like that, but they're constantly dropping, and it's a really great place to find and farm dragon moats. And as you can see, I have the entire thing to myself. I seem to have the entire Droughtlands to myself. People do not hang out here. I think a lot of people are thinking, you know, oh, there's, you know, they're too low level in the Droughtlands, and no reason to go there. But this is actually like one of my secret places to come in the Droughtlands, because things are green and above. It's just right at that level, you know, right at the cusp of, you know, not being gray and green to you. And so you have to go to the very bottom of the Droughtlands, and it was a great place to farm, like, the water rifts for the last part of the invasion. I was spending a lot of time here, but it seemed to take a lot of time to kind of solo a rift by yourself. So you were better off just going to the main level 50 zones. But for farming these things, it's easy peasy, you know. I mean, you can take them down in no time, compared to the level 50 ones in Stillmore and Shimmer Sand and things like that. Those seem to take for friggin' ever to take down. But here, you can take them down in just a matter of like 30 seconds. And here, you can see I'm right next to where a couple of the new zones are going to be. I believe they're called the Ember Isles and things like that. I'm going to try to get in there. If I can't get in there, I'm going to try and borrow some footage from people who've already been in there. There's been a few people who've been in there already. It's a little tricky to get in there, so I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about going in there and checking it out. And I'm thinking about recording it. But on my way there, I came across something really strange. These little mushrooms things, you know. You just seem to like click on them and get zoomed all around this little place here. It might be part of some like Defiant quest or some quest I completely missed. I don't know. It just seemed kind of strange, and it was kind of fun zooming around, and it allows you to kind of traverse this mountain, you know, without having to jump around that much. Anyway, I'm sorry these Rift Weekly reviews have been getting kind of short lately. There just really hasn't been a whole lot going on, but you know that as soon as something happens, I will have it out for you guys. There's nothing happening on the public test shard at all right now. I mean, everything on there is dead. Dead as a door now. The devs are working feverishly to fix all the bugs from 1.4. So, that's what's going on right now. But there's many things coming up, such as some new dungeons coming up and new zones. Lots of things coming up for Rift. So, we'll be looking at that, and it's just the summertime blues right now. Just not a lot to talk about, you know. This has been Dark Hoses for the Gamer Down. I'll see you next week, unless something happens between now and then. And remember to subscribe and thumbs up videos. Take care.